Good afternoon. It's 1 o'clock and time for the Daily Word from St. John Methodist Church. I'm Pastor Ron Genaro, and I thank you for being with us today. I have several announcements, most of which I have slides for, and then a brief devotional. I want to remind you that this Sunday, 9:30 a.m. worship service. Now, this is going to be our Labor Day celebration, so I'll have another announcement about the potluck in a moment, but we will be doing something a little differently. Normally I say wear your Hawaiian shirt. I'm still going to wear a Hawaiian shirt, but it is the opening of football season, or at least the full weekend when most teams are starting. So wear your college football team colors, jersey, shirt, t-shirt. If you've got a Hawaiian shirt, extra bonus points. I have one for the one that I root for. And so we'll see you on Sunday. We want to remind you that on Labor Day potluck dinner is following this Sunday service. We have pulled pork as our main dish, and then we ask that you would bring salads or desserts or side dishes of some sort. Some of you may notice the joke in our house is Janine always brings corn. That she knows I'll eat corn, so she always makes sure that she brings corn for these things. So we're going to have that, and hopefully you will bring your dishes, and we will share together. So that's this Sunday in the fellowship hall. We ask people to sign up. We have a number of folks who have signed up, and we will have food for everyone. So and we will also have the fellowship hall open before service so you can bring your dishes in there. Also, we want to remind you that we have faith and fitness exercise class every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. in the fellowship hall. Please call Paula Penzine if you'd like more information. We also want to let you know that this afternoon, from 3 to 4, we'll be handing out popsicles on the Schumacher property right by our sign. The kids enjoy that, and we are trying to make a presence known for one day we will be there at the church. It makes for some interesting conversations. The last week, what we understood, there was a number of cars that drove by, and they pulled off just to get a popsicle thing. And they were actually the push pop things. So we are making our presence known. We want to remind you about the wake-up call. We encourage you to sign up, especially sign up before next Monday, September 1st, because next Monday, September 1st, the wake-up call from Seedbed will begin. They're calling it the Gospels, or the Gospel Project, or something along those lines. But anyway, we're going to read one chapter of the Gospel, starting in Matthew, one chapter a day. There are 89 chapters. Some of them are short, some of them are long, but we're going to read each one of those, and the daily and the wake-up call provided by Seedbed, you can listen to it or you can read it, but you have to get the email for it. And I'm going to listen to it. I always read it. Janine listens half the time. Sometimes half the time she reads it. But we're going to listen. I'm going to listen and do that each morning. And you can do that in the morning or in the evening, whenever you choose to. But it's a good thing. Wouldn't it be great for all of us to know the life of Jesus as the Gospels present them even better? And so we're encouraging all of St. John to participate. Also, we want to let you know Bible study has returned on Tuesdays at 1 p.m. in the sanctuary or on Facebook Live. We are in the book of Exodus. We did 2 chapters this past Monday. We did a review this past Tuesday, and then we are moving forward with that. Ladies First Friday Fellowship begins next Friday, September 5th, 10 a.m. in the Fellowship Hall. It is open to all the ladies and their friends. First Friday of the month, every month. And this one's going to have a special program as well, a presentation on disaster preparedness in our community. Fellowship dinners return. There's a sign-up sheet in the narthex. September 5th, 5:30 p.m. in the Fellowship Hall, $5 per person. Sign up. They're going to have pizza and a movie. So the $5 will cover the pizza. We are asking folks to bring either a dessert or a salad to share. Fellowship breakfast also begins September 10th. That's at 8 a.m. in the Fellowship Hall. All are welcome. $5 for that as well for breakfast. Call Myron if you have any questions. Grief Share begins September 11th. Now, I have it here in the Education Building. There's a slight chance that that's going to meet in the Fellowship Hall while we're doing the repairs. We're not sure whether the repairs will all be completed, but they're moving. They've already started on those. And so we just want you to know that. Every Thursday, and that'll start September 11th. It will run for 12 weeks. The last week that they meet, it's going to be a double session so that they will be completed before Thanksgiving Thursday. So it's every Thursday, 1 p.m., beginning September 11th. The golf league is every Friday in August and every Friday in September. So tomorrow morning, be there by 7:45. So you're all checked in and we begin to play. Hopefully we won't get rained out like we did last week. Last week we got 16 holes in and we picked up. The office hours are from Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 2:30. And I'm going to speak to the office in just a moment too. We're going to finish all these slides up and then I'll speak to that as well. But it's every Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 2:30. Parkway Food Ministry, we are always in need of food there. So non-perishables, peanut butter, canned goods, and cereal. Place your donations in the Narthex donation box. And I think there's another slide. Yes, Chancel Choir rehearsals resume this coming Wednesday at 6 p.m. Please contact Catherine for more information. I do not have a slide. We'll have one for Sunday. We are closed on Monday for Labor Day. So that's one announcement. We'll have that for Sunday. I failed to make one for this for today. And then the other is we have installed a new phone system, and most of it's in. There's a few things they're going to be cleaning up on Tuesday, and our staff's getting some training. I want you to know, if you call the church office, you will get a menu and a directory. We don't just answer immediately, and there's a reason for that. Many of you may experience this in your homes as well. We get a lot of phone calls that are robot-generated calls. If we go to a menu to start with, they hang up. And so we are avoiding a lot of those. We've had a lot of calls in the past where we answer and then they hang up because we get some wrong numbers. But it's a greeting, and if you know the extension you want, and there are some choices, you can choose to leave a message or to talk to our receptionist, to myself, to Catherine, the music department, or to Matt. And the beauty of this is if we're not at our station, it will record a voicemail and we will know about it almost immediately and be able to answer you. And so we're working on that. So it is a much more efficient and a better system for what we had. Plus, those of you who in the past had called us and we heard all the static, it's now an internet-based phone. And we don't have that static, and everything's working perfectly. And so you can even, if you call and you get our receptionist, when you get our receptionist, she can forward a call to Madison, and Pastor Dorman at this time. We haven't talked with all the staff. We're going to get training next week. But it's much more helpful. You can leave a message directly for them, and they'll return, or you can actually speak to Madison, who's not here. She's in Arkansas, but she has a phone here, and we've got a way for her to utilize that. So those are the announcements for you. Today I'm going to read from 1 Peter chapter 3, verses 8 through 12. 1 Peter chapter 3, verses 8 through 12. And I'm going to read all of these verses, and I'm going to comment basically on the last verse in verse 12. Finally, all of you, have unity of spirit, sympathy, love for one another, a tender heart, and a humble mind. Do not repay evil for evil or abuse for abuse, but on the contrary, repay with a blessing. It is for this that you were called, that you might inherit a blessing. For those who desire life and desire to see good days, let them keep their tongues from evil and their lips from speaking deceit. Let them turn away from evil and do good. Let them seek peace and pursue it. For the eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are open to their prayers. But the face of the Lord is against those who do evil. So this part of 1 Peter, as 1 Peter is writing, he is writing to a group that has been oppressed, that has suffered injury, that folks cause harm. As we know, and as you know as you're reading this, there was a horrific attack yesterday at a church, at a Roman Catholic church in Minneapolis that had a school, and children were killed. I do not understand this kind of evil. I just do not. That hate and that evil. But yet, what I do understand and I don't like it, is that we live in an evil world where people do evil deeds to each other. But the admonition from the Apostle Peter and the admonition from the Lord, because he is inspired by God writing these words, is that we are not to act this way. We don't repay evil with evil. We repay kindness. I used to hear someone describe this as we heap coals of blessing upon them, because people will feel guilty if you do not repay evil for evil. The power of forgiving someone is somewhat, it's overwhelming at times. I have known people who expected someone to really retaliate only to be told, I have forgiven you, let us move on with this relationship. Maybe you've experienced that. Maybe you've been the one doing that, or maybe you've received that. I've known people that have experienced that it has led them to come to Christian hope and faith. But here's this that Peter ends this section with. The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous. Right? You and I believe we're to be righteous, or at least we're supposed to act that way. And God's ears are open to our prayers. God hears our prayers. God sometimes doesn't say yes, because sometimes yes isn't the most beneficial. Sometimes God says no. Sometimes God says maybe later. Those of us who are parents understand that. Sometimes no has to be the answer, or no, not now. And maybe later those things will happen. But then he is this. But the face of the Lord is against those who do evil. And so what this also tells us is we're not to be participants with evil. We are to do righteous things because we are God's righteous people in this world. Positionally, we've been made righteous because of the work of Christ on the cross. Experientially, we are to experience God's righteousness and live into that. We are to be faithful, loving people because we have a faithful, loving God who hears our prayers, who encourages us, and who walks beside us. And I want you to know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that God loves you, this church loves you, and I love you as your pastor. God bless you. Have a great day. Please be in prayer for the city of Minneapolis and for the police department who responded to all of those things and all those families so horribly, deeply affected. God bless you. Have a great day. Bye now. See you on Sunday.